Welcome back to the Dawg House, where we bring you the latest stories from our Bulldog community. Today we're shining a spotlight on the incredible talent within our band and choir programs. With Music in Our Schools Month in full swing, we're sitting down with members of the band and choir to talk about what it's like to perform, how music has shaped their experience at Grant, and the hard work and dedication that goes into every concert and competition. From perfecting their sounds in rehearsals to the thrill of performing live, we'll hear firsthand how music brings our school together and creates long-lasting memories. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Dawg House podcast. I'm your host, Noah, and these are my two co-hosts,
Izzy Ellington.
Canal Montu.
And welcome, choir. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Derek Rios. I'm a sophomore.
I'm Piper Krieger. I'm a senior.
Miles Foreman. I'm a junior.
Welcome to the podcast. So, just to dive in, what goes into concert preparation? What's the routine on how you guys get ready for those things?
Yeah, so basically, every class period, choir during the day is usually just concert preparation. I'd say the first half is usually we do warm-ups and building skills ourselves, but in our individual voices. But then the second half is usually towards preparing for the concert, getting things memorized, working on our songs.
Yeah, it's a lot of just making sure you can actually. We do sight reading every single day, and that's just make sure you actually know how to sing your notes correctly and how they're in tune, and how you can actually learn the music. Because a lot of it, we don't sit down every single day and we sit in front of our music and just learn it from that. We actually build up to it by doing our sight reading, and then somehow relating that to the music that we have for a concert or a contest, anything in that form.
Yeah, it's not like we just listen to the music and just memorize it from that. We actually have to learn it from the ground up.
And how long does that take you typically?
I think each concert cycle kind of varies in length. I think usually our first our fall concert we have about a month and a half. It seems like throughout the year they progressively get smaller. We have less and less time. But I know for the upcoming May concert, we have contests in April, which we've been preparing for the past couple months. But I know after contests, we'll have 4 weeks to prepare for our May concert.
And it's kind of it's very fast paced. You think that you can finally sit down for a second, but you can't. It just keeps on going. You finish a concert, oh no, here's new music the next day. It's very back to back.
So you guys recently had the MILS concert, the Music in Our Schools. How is that concert different from the other concerts that you guys perform?
So, how we have to practice more advanced almost. We have to pay attention to many little things that we know that the middle school students won't pay attention to. So that just adds on to more pressure on us, but overall it's a pretty fun experience personally for me.
Mm-hmm. MIOS, when we have all the middle schoolers come in to sing with us, the feeder middle schools, there's a lot more that goes into it than our regular concerts, because there's a lot more things we have to plan out, and even just things throughout the schedule throughout the day, because it's an all-day event. There's just a lot that goes into it, rather than our one-night concerts throughout the rest of the year.
And it definitely takes a lot more of patience, because now you can't just care, at the concert you can just kind of focus on yourself and not really worry about anybody else. But when you have MIOS, you kind of have to take in everybody, and you have to make sure that you're really looking at your surroundings and making sure everybody is okay, making sure they know their music, and if they don't know their music, helping them. So it's kind of it's more, it's more interactive, but a lot more pressure.
Did you guys experience MIOS when you were in middle school?
Coming from the person that was in middle school the last, I don't know. It was, I just remember having, it was such a cool experience, seeing all the older kids perform, and them in their robes and their ties. I remember Miles from my first one. He was the only one I remembered. So that was a. But overall, it was really fun.
Mine, I didn't get to experience mine just because it was like the start of, it was like March, like 2020, I think. And we were like prepping and I was like so excited. I remember like seeing like memories of being like, oh my God, like I have MIOS on like, Wednesday or something. And then they canceled it. So it's like we learned all of our music and I didn't get to experience that, which I didn't like, I missed out on it obviously. But now looking back at it as I'm like in high school, I'm like, with masks and like everything going on with COVID, I would not been able to do that just because it's so hands-on.
Yeah, I went to Palumbie for middle school. And we went to Lakes for our music in our schools month. And it was so different from Grant. I think we for the Lakes concert, we just kind of went for like a couple hours and we sang with them, and it wasn't as immersive as I think ours is because we spend so much time trying to make connections with the middle schoolers, and I think we do a really good job of building those bridges with the middle schoolers and making it a big program for the future.
So diving into the history of MIOS, how long have you guys been doing this at Grant? Do you know at all?
I know it's been going on for a while.
I would probably, it's been a thing probably for over, I would like to say maybe 10 years. I think that sounds right because I remember my sister doing it. That was like ancient years. So it's probably been going on for a while, but I know it hasn't been, probably hasn't been as big as it was this year, just because other middle schools, they might not have a big choir or the dates just like don't work out. Like I know Palumbie, I think this is their first year here from, I don't know after how long, because they haven't had a choir in the past couple of years, so this year they were able to like join us, which was really exciting.
For sure.
Hold on, I had a question and now it's gone. I had one, I don't know how to word it. Let me think. Someone else go. It'll come back.
Excuse me. Kind of starting off from where you guys began from choir, like when did you guys start singing?
Ooh, low-key, I've been singing probably my whole life. Not in I wasn't always singing in like a choir setting, but my whole family is musical. My mom did band and choir when she was in her schooling days, like 60 years ago. And like all my sisters, they weren't all involved in like music programs, but they were all very musical people, and I think I just growing up around that, it was just kind of naturally implemented into my life.
I've been doing it, I think this is like 8 years, I guess. I was doing it in middle school. And nobody in my family is really like musical related. Like my sister, whatever, she did musical, but no singing, anything. And so I was kind of like the first person to like really dip my toes in the water when it comes to, music. And I think it's very, I don't know, like just, it's such a different world and people don't really, they don't really see it a lot. And so when you start younger, I think it's very helpful to like go into high school and do choir all 4 years, because then you have like the base of music when you're in middle school, and it definitely helps like development when it's in high school.
So I'm like Piper, like my family has nothing to do with like music at all. So they grew up around, going to my brother's games for basketball, and just they always tell me how big of a difference it is for choir and band like performances. But I started in 6th grade, so I don't know how long it's been.
Okay, so why is choir important to you, and how do you think it's helped you like throughout your high school experience so far?
I think I just always have something to lean on. I've had these like friends that I don't even have to talk to, but they're just kind of there, and I just know I can talk to any of them just in case if anything were to happen. Like I know I always have like this second family that will always be there for me, and they were really helpful during my freshman year, especially. Like they just helped me through choir and my schoolwork, and it was just a really helpful thing.
It kind of helped me build connections that like I didn't know I could really make, just because there's so like the people I'm friends with in choir, I would never, you know, if I talked to myself like freshman year, I would be like, there's no way like that would be my friend group, just because it's such a wide variety, and like I have, you know, choir has let me build these relationships to like a super strong point where like, you know, I can ask them, hey, do you want to go out this weekend? Do you want to go do something? And which I would, you know, I would never do that freshman year, just because I would think that these people are just, you know, they're just friends that I have in a classroom. They're not friends that I can have outside the classroom. And so it's definitely like helped me, you know, expand my territories of like friends, and then that helps me like, you know, grow outside my friend group. And it's definitely just like, without choir, I think I would definitely not enjoy high school as much, just because I can actually, you know, somebody will ask me, oh, what are you doing tonight? You know, I'm going to do this thing for choir. I'm going to go sing for somebody. We have a concert. And I know always, you know, the concert's always so fun. And it just kind of makes the experience better, because if I'm lost in all of my other classes, I know there's always one place that I can go where I'll be supported and somebody will listen to me.
For sure. I think choir is probably one of the most like supportive communities in the school. Maybe like it's almost like a year-round team sport, because everybody in the class is like working on this, like working together the whole year, and you kind of naturally build those relationships. So it's really a team there. I think I've built some of my strongest friendships ever with people through choir, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's really.
I had a question too, and I just forgot about it.
Now she copied me. You chowing down that Starbucks.
I know, you keep clearing your throat. And keep like, and I'm like,
No, I'm not.
sure, you're like, smacking your lips. And I'm like, damn, like, quiet down. Like,
That's the longest Starbucks sticker I've ever seen.
Done.
that's like a
The
10 hours
trigger's done.
drink. Okay, we gotta go.
You're locked in,
I
sorry.
forgot. Because we already basically covered the other stuff.
You want me to ask?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
How do you guys manage, like, you guys are in other activities, how do you manage that? Like, what other activities do you do, and how do you work that in with choir?
So Koski, our director, she's super helpful and lenient with letting you do other things and working out the schedule with her. I think communication is the biggest thing, like communication with her, communication with your coaches and your other directors for other things and your bosses. But it definitely works. I think I'd say like the vast majority of choir students, even like extracurricular choir students, do other things outside of choir for sure.
I did golf back in the fall, and golf was like, I was out there every single day. I was playing, I was practicing, and during that there was like chambers I was going to, which is an after school choir, and I wasn't, I talked to her, I'm like, I can't do, I'm outside every single day after school. I can't really make the chambers, and she gave me the option to audition earlier in the year and then join when golf is over. And so I really think that helps kind of like, balance out when I can do when I can do choir and when I have extracurriculars. And it's just like, she doesn't really ask for a lot of our time, and she's very, if you say that you can't go to this thing and you give like a valid reason and you don't just pull one, out of your pocket because you don't want to do it, she's very like open and understanding, just when you're being honest about, your time.
I've had very flexible coaches throughout, or coaches and directors throughout like my high school, like whatever. I feel I've been very lucky. So like it's really communication. Like if you just tell them like, oh, I can't go to this or I can't go to this, like they're gonna be okay with it because it's a part of the school. So I think I've been pretty lucky with it.
Yeah. Right now I was in academic team and and I'm in tennis right now. And like Chambers is after school Tuesdays and Thursdays, and like I usually just split my time. Like I'll go to Chambers for half the after school slot, and then I'll go to practice or like something like that. It works out really well.
So to finish us off, if someone was thinking about doing choir, what would you tell them to convince them to do it?
I would probably, I would say that you don't have to just be in your one choir class. Like, if you want to sing, you can just, join it, and if you really enjoy it, stay there, but also just, put in the effort to, try to experience it and enjoy it. Because maybe they're really interested in singing, and they just have never been a part of that community. Maybe they really love a cappella songs. They can start an octet of 8 people, and you guys can sing and perform. There's a lot of it's not just singing in the classroom, there are a lot of outside opportunities to help build relationships and help build your skills up.
I personally don't see a reason not to do it. I feel like you're gaining so much skills and friendships, and you're just gaining so much from doing choir. Like looking back at it, I feel like I've gained so much opportunities, and I just really don't see a reason not to do it. I feel it's a very good opportunity to do.
Yeah, for sure. There's so many things outside of just singing and musical skills that you gain from being in choir. There's dedication. There's so much work you have to put in outside of choir, and you have to be committed, and again, building those friendships and building those other relationships with people. There's so much more that you gain from joining choir.
Well, thanks for joining us on the podcast today, choir. We really appreciate it. You guys had some heartwarming stories to tell us, and yeah.
Good luck at your next concert.
Yes, good luck at your next concert.
Oh.
Thank you.
I forgot.
Welcome back to the podcast. We are here with band and just band. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Tegan. I'm a freshman.
I'm Evan Soko. I'm a senior.
And I'm San Felipe, and I'm a sophomore.
And I'm Noah Patrick. I'm the main host, and these are my 2 co-hosts.
Izzy Ellington.
And that one too.
So to start off, what are concert preparations like? What goes into it? How long does it take? Give us the perspective on it.
Well, for once, we get our music months in advance, so it takes months of preparation musically. What else?
Every day is a practice day in class, so we'll run the music over and over again until we get it down.
Yeah, and definitely the whole literal setup of the chairs and everything. That takes a morning to put together.
That is a whole day process. We skip school, 248 chairs, get the middle schoolers in right away in the morning, and it's just the whole thing. There's a whole list that SCO makes, our teacher, Ms. Scholar. She takes care of the whole plan with Koski, which is the choir director, and they plan out everything.
And then for the day of MIOS, we practice for, 6 hours?
I
with the
think
middle
it's
schoolers?
around 6, yeah.
6 hours.
Damn.
Yeah. It's a whole day thing.
Long hours, yeah.
How does this concert differ from your regular concerts?
So this concert bases with the middle schoolers, and it takes place within the field house. Usually our concerts take place in the auditorium, which we set up on the stage, which we don't have to spend all day doing. So it'll be, maintenance takes care of everything. We set up the chairs too, but it only takes about 1 class period, I think.
Yeah, I think this concert is more about just connecting with the middle schoolers and having them possibly think about the band program in high school, and almost less about the music, but just getting to know the high school or the middle schoolers.
Yeah, going off of what Tegan said, I think that it's more about the experience for the middle schoolers, kind of getting a taste of how high school band is.
Yeah. It's a way of getting them comfortable, I'd say.
Can I ask what instrument you guys all play?
Yeah, I play trumpet.
I've played the saxophone since 5th grade.
And I play bass clarinet.
So, did you guys experience music in our school in middle school, and How has it been different from that experience to the high school experience of it?
You guys wanna go?
Yeah, I mean, I only experienced MIOS once just because I recently started playing, but it was definitely a different experience just because, you know, as a middle schooler, it's nerve-wracking being around all, like, Zen and Evan. But it was really helpful just to get, like, a taste of what high school band and what the band program really is, and it was really helpful.
I'm in the same boat as Tegan. I only joined in 8th grade, so I had one MIOS experience. It was low-key horrifying at the beginning, because like you're put in this like more professional setting, if you will, and you're expected to do a lot more than you are in middle school band. So it felt nice being part of something bigger than you.
COVID. I didn't have that experience, so I had no idea.
Amen, brother.
Oh yeah.
Preach.
Yep. No MIOS for me.
But you've been like experienced this since like freshman year. Like
Yeah.
how has that been throughout the years?
That has been fine. It's back then I used to sit back and just watch everybody set up everything. I'd help out, you know, freshman.
Yeah.
Just do what I need to do. Now I take part, lead, help each other, you know, just set up everything.
You conduct some of like the music, right?
Yeah.
How do you like that?
It was good. It was a whole experience. Had the marching band, obviously. So I had to learn everything by myself. Did it for 1 year. It's fun, you know. You have to help everybody, and just getting through the music, teaching everyone, and making sure that they see the tempo they need and who they need to follow.
So, obviously, I guess you guys already answered like how long you've been in band. So, why did you join band?
I started producing music because to me it was kind of like an escape from everyday life. I know that a lot of people enjoy reading, but I can't sit down and read an entire book. So for me, I joined because I thought music was fun, and I actually just wanted to learn some songs. And from there, kind of just branched out.
What instrument do you play?
I'm main bass clarinet.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I joined just because I pretty much same thing as that. I mean, music was kind of an escape. I was never really able to like fit because of COVID kind of messed stuff up. But yeah, music was an escape, and it was fun to learn something new.
Mine was a generational thing, I'd say. My whole family played the saxophone, except for my brother. He's here. He chose to do the trombone. But yeah, I've always used to go to all of their concerts, my older brothers and all that. And my dad would play the saxophone. I just said, why don't I do that? You know?
Continue the family legacy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the band environment like? What is class like?
I would say that it's probably the most fun class I've got to be a part of. You're not expected to do anything like school related, so it's kind of nice to have a class where you can kind of just collaborate with people around you and kind of take a break from like academic classes.
Yeah, that was really well said. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, basically. Just learn new music, get to know each other, get a feel of what the sound is, and you just have fun. It's basically the band environment.
What have been some struggles you guys have found throughout, well, I guess more Evan, like throughout your years of band, what have been some struggles you found throughout yourself and through like, working with other people?
Yeah, I'd say struggles that I've had was individually, some pieces were harder than others, so music-wise, I'd have to go home and practice it myself. And other times in class, it would be everybody trying to play together. Some pieces would just be too hard, and we'd have to like stress out throughout the day, throughout weeks, months. Sometimes we'd have to cut pieces because it was just too hard, and that was a main struggle mostly.
Okay.
Other times it was just some people were having off days, and you'd have to deal with that, and it just cuts down the whole process. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, personal struggle, I only started playing like middle of 7th grade, so it was definitely hard coming into high school where, you're around people who have been playing for like 5+ years, so they obviously know more than you. And it was definitely hard getting over that first lump of being able to like, realize it's okay to ask for help on music. Like you're not supposed to know everything that everyone else knows just because they've been playing longer than you. So that was definitely a personal struggle in my first months of playing.
I think the hardest struggle I had was learning fundamentals. I started in 8th grade and my band director was not actually at our school when I joined. So I got handed a saxophone and told to play notes. So from there I kind of had to figure it out on my own. And I think that was the hardest thing for me. But in the high school environment, the hardest thing for me is when people are having bad days. Because when someone's having a bad or like even an off day, you can tell through their playing. And I think that it's hard when people have bad days. So I think the people around them try to like bring them up so we can work together in a positive way.
And what would you say has been some of your guys' biggest successes of band so far?
I'd say always near the end when we have like gotten down our music and when we've completely learned it and we just run it through. It's just a good feeling to feel when we know how to play our music, and it also helps our band director feel like she's accomplished something that we've been working on so hard.
I think it's a really good way to connect with people on a level beyond a physical level. So we're connecting through music, and I think that's one of the biggest successes for me. Clear communication. In a band program, the connections you have with people are a lot closer than like in a classroom setting, because you actually have that time to like not hang out with people, but to like work with them. So I think having that good, clear communication is a really good success that I've had.
Yeah, I agree with Zen. I mean, I think I've made some of like my best friends through the band program, like these people sitting here. But you definitely have better connections through music than like people in your math class.
Are you guys a part of any extracurricular bands?
I am a part of every extracurricular band that we have here at Grand.
Oh my god.
So I'm part of the marching band in the summer, the pep band for playing at basketball games, the pit orchestra that learns collegiate level music for the plays in the spring, and then I'm also part of our jazz band.
Oh my god.
The jazz band fire.
The jazz band is so good, I know.
I've only been a part of the marching band and the pep band. Marching band in the summer, pep band in the winter.
Yeah, marching band for me. That's all I do.
What is pep band?
Pep band, you rehearse like fun little songs, and then you play them in between the breaks at the basketball games. He actually conducts everything at the basketball games, so he's going to have
So I take part in getting our music and leading it to where we have to practice it for about 2 hours before the game each day, and we just learn it, run it, and we bring it to the basketball game. Have fun. Yeah.
Let's talk about let's talk a little bit about marching band. What was that like during football season and in the summer? What was your practice schedule like during the summer?
I guess I could start. For my role this year, I was the drum major, the leading role. I took part in making sure everybody saw where they needed to be and where we need to be in the end. And started it in the beginning of junior year. Near the end, I auditioned to become drum major, which is the leading role. And take it through the summer. We get a week of drum major camp. I had to spend a week at EIU. 6 a.m. morning practice, do all that.
Oh.
We have to walk like miles to get to places.
Oh my god.
Come back a week later and band camp starts. And you guys want to handle that?
Band camp is interesting.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think it was 6 hours a day, right? What was it?
Well,
9
I
to
think it
12
was
and
like-
5 to 8?
Was it? Yeah,
Or was it
that's-
8 hours? 8 to 12 and 4 to 8. What was
I
it?
Nine-
think it was 9.
9 to 12 and then 5 to 8.
So 6 hours. So it was about 6 hours of marching rehearsal a day,
Jeez.
outside on the turf.
It's hot.
It's
Yeah.
hot.
There's mosquitoes.
We get little breaks, but when I say little, I mean like 2-minute breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 minutes, 2 minutes.
It's hot, but you gotta get it done. It's like, that's the only time period. And you're really crunching to get all that drill in your head. And remembering is especially difficult because it's hot outside. You're tired. You haven't had water in like 5 minutes, which feels like 5 hours. And yeah, it's hard.
Other than that, drill. You can talk about drill.
Drill is what we are learning during band camp. That's when we're learning all the formations you guys see on the field and learning how to move from one spot to another while playing. We add the playing on later, so we just do the marching. But I think the hardest part is actually trying to remember that drill and keep it locked in your head.
Yeah, I mean, I never found a huge issue with remembering drill. I think that was just because this year I was so afraid I was going to forget it, so I went home and I was just like, I need to know this drill. I think it was pretty much playing with the drill that was getting me confused because, remembering the music is hard, remembering the drill is hard, but then remembering both of them at the same time like this, it's kind of difficult.
And by the time band camp came around, she said she wanted all returning members to have all their music memorized. So I memorized all my music out of fear, and then nobody else had it.
I didn't have to march, so I just had to memorize my music while also conducting. That was my thing, but I also had to take on the leading area. So every day I'd have to run the schedule through my head the day before and just figure out a plan, what to do, when to do it. That was my whole spiel.
Was there a lot of people who auditioned to be drum major?
We had two.
Two.
Me and then someone else. And
No name.
I figured.
but yeah,
Sorry. Choose the wrong one.
but yeah.
Ask him how his arms felt.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my god.
What'd you say?
Ask him how his arms felt.
Every day it was a Every day was a shoulder workout. 6 hours a day. So much pain. I think I had torsion.
Were you directing band camp?
Me?
Were you directing during band camp?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a lot of physical activity.
Yeah,
I
he's,
did.
That's why,
also the
that's
one
why
that
it counts
teaches us
for.
how to march.
Yeah. So
Oh, really?
So SCO.
So what does Scholar do if you're the one running the band?
SCO would make the plan. She would help guide me in a way, but I usually take on the role of teaching everybody what to do, when to do it, which was mostly the marching area. So beginning of band camp, I would teach them everything they needed to march, the fundamentals and everything about that.
Okay.
Do you help pick music for concerts too?
Not as much. I mean, we have a say near the spring concert.
Mhm.
We had the whole class, not just the seniors, had a say in what music we wanted to play. This year, it's mostly movie.
I think
Based
that's the bit, yeah.
The bit.
I think it is. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. But beginning of the year, we don't really have a say. We get to hear them, get our perspectives on it, and then we just play that music. But other than that, there's a little bit of choice there.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just checking the time. Sorry.
Do you plan on doing band and just being in music in general after high school?
I think my goal is to just go into business area, but other than that, I want to go into the pep band at where I'm going, which is the band in the basketball program. That's where I'm going.
Where do you want to go?
Me?
Yes.
Illinois State University.
Good school.
I'm
good
going
school.
to major in marketing in the business area.
I am too. What are the odds?
Oh my gosh.
Well, it has been an awesome time speaking with you guys. Really appreciate you guys coming out so early on a Wednesday. Thanks for coming out and speaking with us. Really appreciate it.
Good luck at your next concert.
Good luck at your next concert.
Thank you.
And good luck with future plans.
Okay.
And that's a wrap on another episode of the Dawg House. A huge thank you to our band and choir members for giving us a behind-the-scenes look on what it takes to create such incredible performances. It's clear that the music is more than just notes and rhythms. It's about teamwork, creativity, and passion. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow the Dawg House on Spotify and YouTube so you never miss an update. And don't forget to share it with your friends and fellow Bulldogs. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.